If you're a sprint kayaker, what's your first instinct when you need more speed? It's to pull harder, right? But what if that's the very thing that's been holding you back? We're about to break down Nikonorov's truly revolutionary framework, a system that's designed to make your K1 absolutely fly.
So let's start with a really simple question. What is the actual goal of your paddle stroke? Go on, really think about it for a second. Because your answer, well, it reveals pretty much everything about your technique.
You know, most of us were taught the same thing, to pull the blade through the water. But Nikonorov's framework, it flips this idea completely on its head. The goal isn't to pull, it's to make the boat run. The entire focus shifts from the work you're doing during the stroke to that incredible glide you create between the strokes.
So here's how we're going to unpack all this. First, we're going to tackle that core pulling mistake. Then we'll break down the 3 pillars of the technique: managing the paddle, managing the rotation, and of course, how to make the boat run. And we'll wrap it all up with a super practical guide to fixing your own stroke using this exact system.
All right, let's dive right into this pulling mistake. Now, this isn't just some minor tweak to your form, it's a completely new philosophy of speed. It's really about learning to work with the water instead of just fighting against it.
And the key concept here is something called impulsion. So instead of thinking pull, I want you to start thinking push or rebound. Imagine the water is a solid platform that you can just launch yourself and your boat from. It's a really, really powerful mental shift.
I just love how this puts it. Your stroke is not the goal, it's just the engine. The real prize, the thing that actually wins races, is that effortless, beautiful glide you generate between those powerful engine strokes.
Okay, let's get into the first big part of the framework, managing the paddle. See, before you can fire up that engine, you have to build an effective lever. This is all about turning your paddle into a solid, precise tool for creating speed.
So, managing the paddle really comes down to 3 core tasks: a proper setup to get ready for the stroke, locking the blade to create that solid anchor, and then making a high pivot to maximize your leverage. Let's talk about locking the blade. This isn't about brute force, not at all. It's about using hydrodynamic lift to create this fixed point in the water. The feeling you're going for, it's kind of like holding a ball of water that just refuses to move. So what happens? The boat moves past it. And your top hand, it is the absolute control center here. It's not passive at all. It's actively driving that blade down, creating the lock, and setting that high pivot point for the entire lever system. Okay, so with our lever established, we can move to part 2, managing the rotation. Now we get to talk about the boat's engine, your body's true powerhouse, your core and your legs. And here is another massive mental shift. You are no longer twisting around your spine, which, let's be honest, just wastes energy on the seat. Your new center of rotation is that blade you just locked in the water. You are rotating your entire body around that external point. So where does the power for that rotation even come from? Well, you might be surprised. Get this, a full 70% of your power should be coming from your legs and your hips, not your arms, not your shoulders. 70%. And to transmit all that massive force, you need what's called the frame. This is a rigid biomechanical structure, connecting your pushing foot all the way across your body to the opposite shoulder and down to the blade. Now, what's critical is this frame has to be locked in before the blade even hits the water.
All right, let's move to the final piece of this puzzle. Part 3, running the boat. This is where we integrate that powerful lever and that massive engine to create relentless, efficient forward speed. And we achieve this with a dynamic catch. It's a ballistic movement. All the action, the acceleration of your torso, the locking of your frame, it all starts in the air. You're basically throwing your body's momentum into the water at the very moment of impact.
Now, the kinetic sequence is absolutely vital here. Power flows from the ground up just like in any other athletic movement. It starts with a pushing leg, which then drives the rotation, and only then do the arms transmit that force to the paddle. The core intention here, the thing you have to keep in your head, is all about rebounding. Think of a sprinter just exploding off the starting box. That's the feeling you're chasing. You are pushing off the water to launch yourself forward. So, how does this all work in practice? Well, the real beauty of this framework is that it gives you a system for diagnosing and fixing the most common problems you're going to face. And this is where it all gets so practical. I mean, look at this table. Is your blade slipping in the water?
The framework tells you exactly why. You failed to lock it. The cue? Spear the water forward. Are you just twisting on the seat? Your center of rotation is wrong. The fix? Focus on accelerating your opposite hip forward. Every common mistake has a direct cause and a simple, powerful cue to fix it. And this quote from Nikonorov just perfectly summarizes the entire philosophy. Your intention must be to push off the water to maximize the boat's glide. That's it. That intention is everything. It's the key that unlocks maximum speed. So, the final question is really for you. After all this, what are you going to focus on the next time you're in the boat? Are you going to keep pulling, or are you finally going to start to run?